Hello everyone, GuardianE here with another live reaction and first impression video for Fire Emblem Heroes, getting a new set of new heroes to drop into the game in just a few short days. Trailer is dropping right now, and I have it pulled up so we can watch it and react for the first time. Afterwards, we'll watch it again to actually evaluate the units as a whole. But before we get into it, I'll just remind all of you that if you do enjoy the video content that we put out, including Fire Emblem Heroes videos, please consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like down below if you did enjoy the video, and leaving a comment down below to let us know the types of content that you would like to see from us going forward. So with that, let us get started. Oh, sorry, that was way too loud. Let's get started. All right, waiting for the title to fade. Okay. New heroes join the battle. Ashen Valiant. Oh, is this going to be the three houses? Yes, okay. Yuri. Infantry dagger unit. What the? Oh my god, he has a new assist. Foul play? What is that? Unit and ally swap spaces, but then he has a Kanto afterwards? Wait. Huh. So he has a ranged swap. Fallen Noble. Okay, Constance is going to be a red tome flyer. Love that umbrella. Adore it. Own unique weapon. She has a trace skill as well. Rain skill. A lot of flyer staples lately. Oh, that's a sick animation. And showing off the Kanto. Right. Up third is going to be drawn out Sigh. So we are going to be getting Hapi. Cavalry blue tome user. Demonic tome. Okay. Attack res catch 4. Trace 3. It looks like there aren't going to be any demotes on this banner. But she looks pretty great. For sure. Yes, we get it. We get it. They have Kanto. Yet another new hero. Oh, this is going to be the dude, the Muspell, right? Yeah, okay, alright. Flame God, who's not going to be a real god because he's not a mythic hero, but he's here anyway. That's going to be Muspell. Yep. Flame Lick Breath, Dragon Wall, Domain of Flame. Okay. Does he just look like a Pokemon to anybody else? Is it just me, or does he just look like a Pokemon? Because that's, like, even in his human form, he looks like a Pokemon. New story chapter Deceit. Whoa, Fafnir, what happened to you, buddy? Jeez. Alright, so we are getting an Axe infantry user as well. So new story chapter is going to be here on the 17th, of course. And if it wasn't abundantly obvious, no 4-star focus units on this banner. So it is just going to be the 4. Even no greens on the banner because Balthus is going to be free. Wow, he looks pretty awesome, actually. That art's great. Yeah, not bad at all. Curious what skills and stuff he's going to have. Of course, we are going to have the option to spark because it is going to be a... Wait, what? No, that's not all in it. Oh, the Celestial Stone. Okay. Right, so there's going to be the Spark. There's going to be an opportunity to get a Celestial Stone. That's not news to anybody here. We know what that's all about. It is nice that they are introducing Balthus. I forgot that they do often do that when there's not going to be a 4-star hero that's just dropped in as a focus 4-star. So at least we are getting another 4-star hero dropped into the regular pool, and an infantry axe unit at that, which again, we don't have a ton, or rather we haven't gotten a ton of demotes for infantry axe users, so that's nice. So we will rewind, of course, to take a closer look at the characters and their skills to see if I think this is a banner that's worth pulling for. But up front, it does look like a high-value banner. It's a new hero banner. They're not limited. However, you are guaranteed one at the Spark, which is around 140 orb cost. All of the units appear to have some pretty interesting skills, or at least unique weapons. And then, of course, there's Muspell himself, who, while he isn't a mythic hero, is probably going to be pretty powerful and potent. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at what they've got here. So yet again, more 3 houses, but based on the side story, the DLC. So that's always that's a new spin on things. First up, we've got Yuri, who is going to be an infantry dagger unit. Very, very clean art by Sayori Toyota. Really, really beautiful art for a really, really beautiful man. He's gorgeous. What can I say? He has that slightly tousled lilac hair that's mirrored in the rest of his outfit, both in sort of the cloak that he has draped over his shoulder, as well as the rest of his garb. Really, really nice. He looks dignified and graceful here in his pose, and certainly he has kind of a sly look on his face. It's no surprise. Let's take a look at what skills he's got, as well as the new assist. So he's got that Kanto, so he can really position himself as an enemy phaser. That's just really fascinating. So that is going to be a unique strategy for him to be able to utilize Kanto offensively rather than as a defensive ability. So Honorable Blade is going to be his own unique weapon, 14 might. Dagger, it's going to have Kanto built into it, Kanto 2 in fact, so no remainder. He's always going to be able to have a Kanto. He's always going to be able to move 2 spaces after an action, no matter what. He has a Killer Slaying effect, and then at start of turn, unit can move 1 extra space. What? Really? He's just mobility incarnate. Okay, so he okay, alright, well, so we just saw that introduced as something built into Brave Alm, and they've already added it to another character where an infantry is essentially, you know, has cavalry movement, has an extra space at the start of every turn. Alright. At start of combat, if foe's HP is greater than or equal to 50%, grants attack speed +6 to unit during combat. And then also has Dagger 7, which is, of course, the standard debuff for a dagger. So, as far as overall buffs for this weapon, it just has +6 to attack and speed, which is okay, and a Killer Slaying effect. Those are both really solid effects, but really the inherent value in this weapon is just the mobility it adds. That's crazy. The Kanto plus the extra space at the start, that's just so much freedom. That's so much mobility that is just built into one skill, one weapon. Foul Play is going to be his assist. A unit and target ally swap spaces, and the range is 3. So it's not even range 2, it's range 3. That's enormous. He can traverse an entire map in a single turn. That's pretty interesting. Glimmer for the special. Colorless Dual Infantry 4 for the A slot. We all know what these skills are about. Substantively better than the Dual 3 skills in a lot of ways. And is also going to increase the scoring of the unit in modes like Arena. Times Pulse for the C slot. At start of turn, if special cooldown count is at its maximum value, grant special cooldown count -1. Alright, that's very interesting. That means that he is going to have a Glimmer at insta-charge, essentially. And that is, you know, what we saw in the demonstration. Honestly, I'm fascinated by him. I think this is just a really interesting archetype. We haven't seen this level of mobility built into a unit and built into a weapon like this before. That also opens up opportunities. You know, if you don't have to use C Dual Infantry 4, he has the ability to utilize B slots and C slots and A slots that are incredibly powerful to give him bonuses and buffs and stat boosts that the weapon doesn't give him, right? Because ultimately what the weapon is lacking here is some effects that you might see standard on a B slot or C slot. And instead, you can just use those B slot and C slot skills because the weapon itself just has the mobility function taken care of. You don't have to worry about that. So honestly, it's a really fascinating unit, I feel. Just really interesting. Well, let's take a look at his attacking art. So he does have Glimmer at an insta-charge. If he's going to be enemy phasing like this, he could really use a 3-turn or 3 cooldown special instead, because he's always going to tank that hit. Unless he has Vantage, you could definitely do Vantage plays here, because again, his B slot is free. So you have that opportunity to be able to utilize that. But anyway, taking a look at his art, I mean, again, he looks great. I have to say, I love the cape billowing behind him. Love the purple slash effects. Super, super cool as he's slashing forward. And he has this mischievous look on his face. Definitely great to see. So, next up is going to be Constance, a red tome flyer. Art looks very faithful, like the clean lines, the beautiful shading in her hair. She does have this air of nobility to her. I think they captured that very well. So taking a look at her skills, her red tome is Agnia's Arrow, 14 might, grants speed +3. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack speed +6 to unit during combat, neutralizes effects that prevent units' follow-up attacks, neutralizes foes' bonuses to speed and res on odd-numbered turns, and neutralizes units' penalties to attack and speed on even-numbered turns. Well, that's a cute little weapon. Definitely situational, a little hard to control and balance out sort of the bonus effects at the end there, but if we take a look at it from the beginning, speed +3 is decent as a first bonus. Condition is easy to meet. She's going to be a player phaser, so as long as she's within 2 spaces or initiating combat, she gets that bonus to attack and speed. Neutralizing effects that prevent units' follow-up attacks is a potent and powerful thing to have built into the weapon. And if we stop it right there, those are the things that she will be able to always have control over. The other elements are a little more difficult to control. So neutralizing foes' bonuses to speed and res on odd-numbered turns, and neutralizing units' penalties to attack and speed on even-numbered turns. You can definitely work strategies revolving around this, because if you see the lay of the land, you see the enemy composition, you can do the turn count and figure out exactly when the best time to initiate, when the best time to tank. The nice thing about it is that she always has at least one effect, whether it's even or odd numbered, so but it is a little finicky. Harsh Command Plus for the assist, attack speed push 4 for the A slot, excellent. Attack speed far trace 3 for the B slot, and then speed res rain 3 for the C slot. So all very, very potent offensive skills. A lot of these speed boosts are going to allow her to double the opponent naturally, and because of the effect of Agnia's Arrow neutralizing the effects that prevent units' follow-up attacks, that means that most likely she's going to be able to just let that double fly. So that is a great thing to have. At best, I think she's a pretty potent red tome flyer that's going to have the ability to do hit and run tactics and double with impunity, which is a very strong combination of things. At worst, she has a lot of really great skill fodder. So either way, pretty solid addition. Let's take a look at her attacking art and animation. I love the umbrella in her sprite. I think that's adorable. I enjoy that she has the fan out stretched and is in this really kind of dynamic pose. She has the book open with the flames spouting out of it. Just really nice, really nice. And then I really love the sprite attack animation. It's really cool. And then next up, we've got Hapi as a blue tome cavalry unit. Love the art. I actually do appreciate kind of the washed out colors. I think that fits her demeanor really, really well. She looks a little despondent, I also appreciate the sporty, abbreviated, more fashionable take on the uniform itself. Really suits her, really fitting. A little bit more showy, giving us a full view of her tanned skin and figure. I like the purple thigh strap and undershirt that she's got. I feel like it balances and matches really well with sort of the washed out crimson of her hair and her eyes. So taking a look at her weapon, it's a demonic tome, 14 might, effective against dragon and beast foes. It's really interesting that we're seeing these units take on a lot of the roles of the brave refines. Well, and maybe not the brave refines, but the brave weapons, like Choose Your Legends 3 weapons, because obviously Eliwood's Nini's Lance is effective against dragon and beast foes as well. Sort of an odd coincidence here. But anyway, accelerate special trigger, so killer slaying effect. At start of turn, if special cooldown count is at its max value, grant special cooldown count -1, okay? And at start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants attack res +6 to unit during combat. So it has an attack res push 4 built into it. It has effective damage against dragon and beast foes, which I think is very, very good. Having dual effectiveness in general, that's a key to longevity. I think it's going to suit her very well. Killer slaying effect plus also gets an extra cooldown count -1. That means that she also is going to have Glimmer at fully charged on at the start of a turn, which is an interesting theme that we're seeing here. Got attack res catch 4 for the A slot if foe's HP is 100% or if penalty is active on foe. Grants attack res +7, and then if both of those things are active, then attack res +9. So that's nice. And then attack res far trace 3, so she does of course have a Kanto built into her, or she has the Kanto B slot. As far as her role is concerned, it's really interesting because it's definitely is focused and honed in on this concept of having an insta-proc special and then having this dual effective damage. So that's kind of like her in a nutshell. She's going to have that dual effective damage, she's going to be able to insta-proc whatever her weapon is, and then she's going to be able to Kanto to safety as a cavalry unit. So that combination of things can be potent. Nothing here really blows me away, but the dual effectiveness definitely, I think, is a spicy addition to her kit. So let's take a look at her attacking art and special. And she's attacking into a dragon, so she'll enjoy that effective damage. Here is her special attacking art. Love the explosion of violet coming off of her fingertips, the wispiness of her hair, and then you have sort of the lighting effect, the shadows cast from the actual elements that she's firing forward across her body. It's really, really nice. You get a feel for the torrential energy that's kind of coming off of it. Really great. I like it. And I like the rain effect too, as well as, the eruption from the ground. Nice animation there. So here is Muspell. Obviously, we've seen him in the game for a while now. He is a cavalry dragon unit. I maintain that he looks like a Pokemon. Giant ring of fire behind him. His hair is fire. His hands are fire. He's fire. He's fire. Nice shirtless design, like the big red cloak behind him, the baggy pants. I mean, it comes together nicely. The red and the black, the charcoal with the fire. But yeah, there's something about him that just looks like a Pokemon to me. Alright, so let's take a quick look at his kit here. Flame Lick Breath, 16 Might, Attack plus 3. At start of combat, if unit has greater than or equal to 25% HP, grants plus 5 to all stats during combat, and foe cannot recover HP during or after combat. And if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25% at the start of combat, after combat, if unit attacked, inflicts deep wounds on target and foes within 2 spaces of the target. If foe's range is equal to 2, does adaptive damage. As we know, deep wounds effect is the unit's HP cannot be healed through its next action. So as you can see here, his weapon is centered entirely around a stat boost and the ability to prevent the enemy from healing, either during combat or even after combat and in the following action. For his A slot, Ether Ray Defense Res 4. It's a big yawn for me. I mean, I think it's pretty clear. I think most people know how I feel about the Ether Raid skills. I don't love them. I really just don't like how they're designed. I hate how limiting they are, and how they effectively do nothing outside of the mode. I just don't like them. Dragon Wall 3 for the B slot. If unit's res is greater than foe's res, reduces damage from attacks during combat and from AoE specials by a percentage equal to the difference between stats times 4, max 40%. And then Domain of Flame for the C slot grants attack defense plus 4, and the effect: if unit's attack is greater than foe's res during combat, unit's first attack deals damage equal to 30% of unit's attack minus foe's res to allies within 2 spaces during combat. During combat, if unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack defense plus 4 to unit during combat. And also, okay, this is the first time I've ever had to replay because the YouTube red bar blocked part of the text that I couldn't interpret or couldn't be sure of. So it seems as though it's basically a joint effect. So not only does he get this effect, any ally within 2 spaces during combat also gets this effect. Okay, I'm a little confused by this. So it has an attack defense joint effect, which we already know, right? It also has the joint of this additional Domain of Flame effect, which is: if unit's attack is greater than foe's res during combat, meaning that he would do damage, right? Because he's a dragon, he would be attacking, he's magical damage, he's attacking the enemy's res. So he grants this effect to allies, right? The unit's attack is greater than foe's res during combat. Unit's first attack deals damage equal to 30% of unit's attack minus foe's res. Which leads me to believe that the first attack would essentially do only 30% of the damage that you would normally do, or that he would normally do. Muspell. So I'm guessing what it should say is unit's first attack deals additional damage equal to 30% of unit's attack minus foe's res. Like, am I going crazy here? It might just be late and I'm not really reading this right or something, and I might be sounding like a complete doofus and an idiot right now, which, believe me, is not far from the truth. But the interesting element of this, assuming that it is additional damage, is that your allies are going to actually target the enemy's res. In that the bonus damage is going to target the enemy's res, even if they're physical attackers. So that's kind of an interesting aspect to this. I guess the idea is that he's bestowing his flame to his allies, so that flame is going to be doing magical damage, and that's the representation of the 30% additional damage. I guess. So, I don't know, Muspell, I kind of just kind of skipped ahead here. I mean, his dragon form looks really cool. It still looks like a Pokemon to me, but I mean, it honestly does look pretty darn cool. I like that he's bipedal. And here, honestly, I don't know, he's just kind of standing here. It kind of looks like he has a pompadour. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. So the deal with Muspell, I didn't really talk about it. I kind of skipped ahead because I was just so dumbfounded by the C slot. But, I mean, the deal with Muspell is that he is going to be super tanky. I mean, he's going to be incredibly tanky. Huge defense, huge res, huge damage reduction. He's going to prevent the enemy's ability to heal. And so he's just going to be able to sustain all this damage. And he's going to get additional damage through the C slot effect, entirely. That's really going to be the basis for him doing a lot more, a lot of additional damage. And we can kind of see here. Yeah, okay, so if we take a look at this, he would have done 39 damage. He does 50 damage from the actual flames, so that's an additional 30% damage. So yeah, okay, so it is additional damage. It's not just like base damage. All right, just to make sure, just to clarify that is in fact how it works. So the new story chapter is going to be Deceit. And we are going to get this crazy Fafnir here, like possessed Fafnir. I don't know. He's going to go nuts in the next chapter. So I'm excited for that. We'll see how that works out. So I gotta say, not a bad banner at all, especially if you have a healthy stock of orbs and you're willing to go to the Spark. Every unit here has some pretty great fodder or some just new things that we've never seen in the game before. So there's a lot of utility here that's built in, a lot of skills that I'm sure you could find uses for, even if you don't want to use the character. And because of that, it is a pretty decent banner to go in on. Now, the banner is going to be up probably for an entire month, so bear that in mind. You're going to be able to see who the next mythic hero is and what the next seasonals are going to be well before this banner leaves. So, there's no rush in going in hard on these units right away. You can use your tickets. Remember, you will have summon tickets to get from the Forging Bonds that you can use. Try your luck, see how it goes, and then bide your time. And if they do seem as desirable towards the end of the banner as they did at the beginning of the banner, then you can toss a couple more orbs at it, go for the Spark, and snag one of these guaranteed. For me personally, that's probably the approach I'm going to take. I'm just going to use my summon tickets up front, see what the rest of the banners upcoming hold. Even then, I don't know if I'm going to go in for the Spark, but again, I don't think it's a bad idea. They have some pretty great stuff fodder-wise, but let me know in the comments below if you are excited for this new hero banner, Abyss and Muspell. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video, and if you did, please feel free to leave us a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more Fire Emblem Heroes content. We thank you all so much for watching and for taking time out of your day to spend with us. We really do appreciate it. Certainly hoping you're all staying safe, healthy, secure, and united out there, and wishing the very, very best for you, your family, and your friends. And until next time, let's protect those skies.